Good afternoon, you lovely Hammers fans. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all better than me. I'm struggling today. I'm on day 8 of this fast, so 2 days to go, and I'm almost there, but I'm feeling really flat, really flat. So please drop a like on the video. Cheer me up a little bit. And don't forget to subscribe. As Gary mentioned on his video yesterday, around about 40% of people that watch our channel are not subscribers. I know not everybody's got a Google account, but, if you can, it's free to sign up. It does really help us. So look, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I'm going to take a slightly different angle. I think I've had to give my head a wobble over the last few days. I don't know whether it's doing this fast, which has made me look at things like this and made me realise that, look, what are you fucking moaning about? Because I'm literally starving. I've got real things to worry about. We wanted a change. I wanted a change. I did. We've got that change. David Moyes is going. We might not get the manager that we all wanted, that I wanted. I've got to not be a petulant baby about this, a big baby, as Keane would say. It's not my choice at the end of the day. It's the owner's choice. It absolutely is. We was never in control of who was going to come in next. Obviously, there's been a lot of noise around Pellegrini, and some of that from us as well. We've been involved in that. It's not been great. I signed a bloody petition for the guy, didn't I? Before he even came in, and in retrospect, I think that was probably a bad idea. I think that was a bad idea. I think I've got so caught up in the annoyance with Sullivan, and off the back of this stuff with Moyes, I was still in kind of attack mode. And the fact of the matter is, we've got our own way. We've got Moyes out. We're going in a different direction. And if it is Lopetegui. Or Lopetegui, I'm going to call him Lopetegui. If it is Lopetegui, then it's still an upgrade. It's a substantial upgrade on David Moyes. It really is. It's not what we would have wanted. And yes, you can pick it apart. You can look into his history like we have done, and you can find lots of bad points. But equally, there are lots of good points as well. There are. It's as simple as that. So I think that people should be excited. Whatever happens now, we can't help who our owners are. There's nothing we can do about that. There's only so far they're ever going to go. There are some true points. The fact that Sullivan likes the fact that he's cheap and he's out of contract. He hasn't got a pay release clause. Yes, that's true. But equally, this guy will have a point to prove. He's going to. It's not been plain sailing for him since he left Sevilla. He came to Wolves. He did a decent job initially where he kind of saved them from relegation. And then he fucked it all up, didn't he? I know it wasn't all his fault, but with that interview that he did with was it Guillem Bellegay? He said some things that he shouldn't have said. He ended up losing his job off the back of it because he kind of he didn't speak very highly of the squad that he had left. Almost alluded to the fact that it wasn't good enough for the Premier League, and then obviously since then Gary O'Neill's come in and made him look even more silly. Let's face it. So he will have a serious point to prove, and that probably means that he's negotiated quite a favourable financial package to West Ham because he's coming into a club that, whether people want to accept it or not, we are a big club. He's got a big platform. He's got a new hungry director of football that is also keen to prove himself. So whether or not this is Tim Steidten's appointment or not, it's still attached to him. So if it was to fail, then it would be Tim's failure because he's here overseeing it. So Tim's recruitment and his business that he does and his kind of collaboration with the new manager, whoever that is going to be very key in Tim staying here long term. So both of these people are going to be keen to push on. Now we know that Lopetegui has got he's got history of being very successful. He got Sevilla in the Champions League twice. He won the Europa League with them. He's not rubbish at all. He has got a bit of a screw loose. But then again, is that a bad thing? One of the things that I didn't like about David Moyes was the fact that he was a yes man. This bloke ain't a yes man. He won't have it. If he gets mugged off, he's gonna pipe up. He's very firm on all fronts. Like I say, you can dig up loads of negatives about him. But there are a lot of positives as well. And what does it really achieve? I do think, after the last few days thinking about it, I just want to get excited for the new season again. So whoever the next manager is, whether it's Lopetegui, whether it's Amorim, whether it's Iriola, whoever it is, of course, we all want the very best. It's still different. It's still a change. it's going to be different from last year. We should be excited about that. So do you know what? There was part of me that was still feeling petulant and wanted to go on and kind of, expose the club for doing this and doing that. But what's the fucking point? What does it achieve, really? So I am going to take this on face value. Personally, I am. I can't speak for everyone else. We each have got different opinions on the channel. But I'm exhausted. I'm fed up with being a grumpy bastard and fed up feeling bad about West Ham. I want to feel positive about West Ham. That's one of the reasons why I've done this fast. It's all got on top of me a little bit and I needed a bit of a reset. So what better way of resetting myself other than, coming out of this and start being more positive towards West Ham as well. Looking forward to it, getting excited about players that are coming in. The thought, we don't know what type of style he's going to play. He's played several different styles throughout his time as manager. He tends to, it isn't a one-size-fits-all style with Lopetegui. He adapts to the players that he's got. With whatever pieces he's got, he'll devise a tactic around that. So I'm more than willing to give the guy time. I'm excited to see what he can do. He's got a point to prove. So has Tim. They will be backed. We don't know what players are going to be leaving. In terms of key players, it's been unveiled today that Kudus has got an 85 million release clause. I think X has released that. But they don't know whether it's active this window or next. So hopefully that's next window because we wouldn't want to lose Paqueta and Kudus in the same window. But yeah, I think we're fine. I think Tim's going to have players lined up. What's the point in moaning about it? What's the point in being perpetually negative about it? We've had so much of this. We really have. So I'm going to stop digging because what's the point? What is the point? If he's coming in, he's coming in. There ain't anything that I can do about it. It could all still be a smokescreen. It could be the fact that we've got an Amorim lined up. I hope it is. I hope we get a better manager than Lopetegui. I do. But Lopetegui is a better manager than what we had before. So either way, we're quids in and we're winning compared to what we've had this season. So that was kind of a quick message, what I wanted to say, really. So I'm going to start looking towards next season with excitement. That's what I'm going to start doing. I've had a few conversations with people. I had a message from our mate John, the barrister, earlier on, and he said something similar. How can you go really condemning a guy before he's even had a chance? You can't really. We don't really know anything about this bloke, do we? Do we actually know much about him? I know I don't really. It's only been, the stuff that I've read off the back of it. I know very little about him. So, like I said, that's going to be my approach. I'm going to give it a go to be about Lopetegui anyway. To be positive, Nick, and about West Ham, about players that we're getting in, about Tim. Be excited. Sullivan's always going to piss me off, but what can we do? He owns the club. If he gets this wrong, it will be on him. It will be. And that's what I will say moving forwards as well, because it's been made very clear that the fan base were not favourable of this move. So Sullivan should know that if this fails, the crosshair will be fixed firmly on him and on Brady and on Tim as well. It will be. They'll all be culpable. I won't be targeting the manager on this one because they have taken a cheap option. They have. If they go with Lopetegui, they have taken a cheap option. They could have gone for, you've got Iraola, who's at Bournemouth, who's out of contract. There's so many, you've got Thiago Motta as well. You've got Amorim. There's so many managers out there. So there's a lot riding on this, but it could still succeed. It could be brilliant. That's the thing. But if it doesn't, then it's on him, because what we will look at is the fact, but in retrospect, is the fact that Sullivan took the cheap option and it failed. So let's hope it doesn't all round. Do you know what I mean? More money to spend on transfers, I suppose. I hope anyway. We are linked with a raft of players at the moment. I've been doing a little bit of digging on transfers today, players that we are linked with. So I know that the agent of Wesley from Corinthians, who we did actually report first, ages ago on that one. He's in the country at the moment, but unfortunately now he's not just talking to West Ham, he's talking to a raft of other clubs as well. I think we might have missed the boat on that one. Possibly. With the clubs that I mentioned, I think Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool are all interested in this guy. So what chance we've got of getting him now, I don't know. That would be a shame, but there's plenty more fish in the sea, certainly when you look at Brazilian football, and we have got links out there now. So, I think it's going to be an exciting summer. Enough of the negativity, enough of the shit. If it goes bandy next year, that's when you moan, innit? Not now. So I've given me head a wobble. All right, giving me head a wobble, and yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm going to be happy, Nick. Positive, Nick. It's quite creepy, isn't it? All right, speak to you soon. Come on, you ones. Drop a like on the video. Cheer me up. Blah.